is a very, very vulnerable time for me. Life is just presenting a lot of stress. And I had a little breakthrough cry last night about me missing my mother. My mother died in 2001 from a drug overdose, which I mainly think she did on purpose because she was HIV positive and she started to get sick. And I was the only one out of her kids that knew. There were 6 of us. I'm the eldest. And she said that she did not want to leave this world sick and weak, and she did not want her kids to see her that way. So, my mother passed at 38. I'm 47. So I definitely celebrate making it this far. I'm having a really rough few months, and tonight when I came home, I think the stress of things that is happening at work got the better of me, and as I was walking up the steps, I was dizzy. I wasn't feeling well all day today, so I came home, I took a nice bath, and calmed myself, and my partner reminded me of my breakthrough last night with my mother, so I said, well, you know what, maybe I need to have her close to me. I did have her ashes and my grandmother's ashes, but years ago my sisters decided they wanted them, so I gave my mom's ashes and my grandmother's ashes to them, because at the time I felt like I was strong enough and maybe they needed it more than me. But I'm finding that it's getting rougher and rougher. So I put my mom's pilgrim humongous nightgown on tonight because I needed a hug, and I read some of her journal that was revealed to me after her death. And I have a funny story about this Shih Tzu right here. It might make you laugh. So my mother always wanted a Shih Tzu, and this is when I was like, my early 20s. I couldn't afford it. I went and looked up a Shih Tzu. I could not afford. I lived in Brooklyn. I worked a regular job. I couldn't afford to buy her a Shih Tzu, but I wanted her to have a Shih Tzu so bad, right? So I went to FAO Schwartz, and I found this Shih Tzu puppy, stuffed animal. And on Christmas morning, I put a collar on it and everything. And if you do know anything about the brown zones in New York, we had these big wooden sliding doors. So I had the doors closed, and I put the collar on the stuffed animal, and I closed the door, so all you could see was me holding a dog leash, and then I was acting like this, and I was like going all over the place, and I was acting like whatever was on the other side of the door was moving, and my mother's sitting there, and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe, and I slid the door open, and I dragged the stuffed animal in, and my mother was like, I could kill you. I was so excited. I said, Ma, I'm in my 20s. Where was I getting that much money to buy a Shih Tzu from? Where was I getting it? So this was her Shih Tzu. So I'm sleeping with him tonight, and I read first couple pages to my mom's journal, and I swear, like, if I had this journal earlier in my life, it would have made things differently. Here's a picture of my mom. This was July 4th, 1977. I was born July 4th, 1978. I know she had more journals, and this journal started when she was in rehab. So this starts September 18th, 1994. And I'll show you, there's a few entries on this page. But the first entry was, "This is just a few lines about my day and my feelings. Well, I was a bit uptight today. My mother has always had a way of getting me. But overall, the day turned out great. Harry called," which was her partner at the time. And I will say that my mother was a long-term drug abuser. September 19th, 1994. I got up at 8:24 and decided to paint my grandmother's dining room, and I did. I'm not feeling happy, but I'm not sad. I miss my kids and Harry and wish they would hurry up and send me this letter I'm waiting for. Then she writes this poem, which really hit home for me today. On September 20th, 1994. And mind you, I have this journal up until 2001, which is when she passed. There's a lot of empty spaces, but the poem that she wrote on September 20th, 1994, my mom's name is Robin. Love is being able to be there when you really don't want to. Love is giving of oneself when the other person simply can't or doesn't know how. Love is learning to mature under painstaking conditions. Love is holding on for dear life even when you're totally dead inside. Love is looking in the mirror and loving what you see, even if it's ugly. Love of self is just a start. Being honest is the end. That just hit me in so many different ways. And I'm just grateful that I have the ability to reflect sometimes. But it's so crazy that when I am having some of the roughest times or the hardest times of my life, I can go back and read my mother's journal, and whatever she was feeling or going through at that time, it is where I am currently. And I will say there's a lot going on in my life, and there's a lot that's up in the air, that's uncomfortable. So on September 21st, this is the last one I'm going to read. As of late, I've been feeling as though I'm a load on everyone's shoulders. I'm also experiencing some discomfort due to the fact that my family members are treating me like a child. For instance, when other family members come up for a visit, I have to give up my room, or they sit at the kitchen table, and discuss my affairs. I know they're doing this out of concern, but it still doesn't change the way I feel and the feeling it brings up for me. But today I can walk through it and over to the other side. Change hurts. And that's what I'm going to leave you with tonight. Change hurts. It does. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. It is scary. But at the end of the day, change is necessary. So, whatever it is whatever that change needed to be for you, work on that change. I'm grateful I have the opportunity to look at something like this so I can reflect. And I'm happy to share. I'm happy to share. But I will say that I'm going to focus on not being in as much pain as my mother was, because she did not go through all that pain, and she didn't go through all the experiences and take her own life, which I firmly believe. She didn't do all those things for me to end up feeling the same way she did. So tomorrow, I gotta do better. Gotta do better. And if you need to do better too.